Hi there, it's Adam bringing you another video to the channel. This is really just a general channel update, just to keep you updated really. I know obviously following on from the last videos on the 21-22 UK Model Airport series, I said, I'm going to be doing like videos in a different way. It's not so much that I haven't got time, I think it's more mentally that I feel like I haven't got time to be doing that. I am doing airport updates on this airport that you can see set up, which I've done before. But as you can see, there's not a lot of activity going on really to fulfill an actual airport date. Where in comparison to other airport dates you see on YouTube, I don't think it's really worthwhile. And it's kind of hard to do. It's not hard to do, but it's just is it really worth it? Some updates might be busier than others as well, so the fluctuation of aircraft are going to be very limited. And you're never going to see like a full load of models filling up this airport, because as you can see, the layout is pretty standard, straightforward. One side passenger aircraft, passenger terminal, and on the other side cargo. Her movements are just not like here, there, and everywhere like you can see on some model airports. Now, I spoke a lot in the last videos about sort of things I want to look to do in both 1/400 and 1/200 scale. So far, none of that's really taking place. I don't know when. I haven't really got a time frame. It could be end of this year, could be going into next year. Who knows? Ultimately, though, I think I do keep, I'm still collecting model aircraft, you know what I mean? And I'm still enthusiastic about model airports and things like that. As you can see, I've got this set up and it's something that I still want to kind of do. And this is based on a 2016 time period, but I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but I think maybe it's kind of a good time that I've done this video, that I'm doing it now, because recently, just really over the last few days, I've been kind of thinking, if I did do like a big model airport, I think I'd have to move into the other room where I was filming before and basically move everything around. Literally sort of switch rooms and kind of just, have a big shake up really. And the idea was, I kind of looked at Heathrow for a little bit of inspiration and things like that, what I could do. There's actually an airport on Instagram that I saw in 1/500 scale, and I guess that kind of influenced the initial ideas. And obviously looking at Heathrow, it's more so how Heathrow used to be before the sort of redevelopment of like Terminal 2 and things like that. Luckily we've got Google Earth and you can look back at the historical imagery and stuff, which is helpful. And kind of looking at that and thinking, like kind of maybe doing something a little bit different, like kind of like a real like international kind of style airport, where you've got stands like at different angles on both sides. Not really bothered about a runway, but more so taxiways and stands and things like that. Again, at different angles, kind of going across and like, sort of maybe some adjacent, some facing 90 degrees and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? And just kind of looking at things like the possibilities. Now, problem is that you've got to think, how would I do that? Because I think ultimately I'd have to get a board. Probably 6x4 is probably the maximum size I'd probably be able to do. I'd have to probably draw out the layout, but then it's like, do I get everything, sort of like printed out? Do I do that like I've done on this airport, do it myself? Do I, get the terminals 3D printed, which I probably, it'd be kind of difficult in a sense, I don't know how I'd do that. If somebody could 3D print it, I don't know how I'd like explain, look, this is what I want to do. I'd have to draw all that out, I guess. Ideas and concepts, and again, it's all expense and everything like that. So there's a lot of factors you've got to consider. But one thing I was thinking, instead of like a lot of my airports, I've had up against the wall and I've had backgrounds. Obviously, as you can see, I've not really bothered with a background on this setup because I'm not that bothered about that, to be honest, anymore. Like, I just want to do the display of the models that I've got on the time period that I'm focusing on and that kind of stuff. But this project I was looking at or thinking about potentially was having a board basically in the middle of the room. Like I say, maximum size would be about 6x4 foot. But having an airport where I could literally walk all the way around the board, and that essentially would be kind of monumental for like a model airport display. Do you know what I mean? And that really is the kind of model airport I would expect to have to do model airport videos on YouTube and things like that. So that's kind of like what I want to go for. Look, as you guys know, I've over the last year or so, I've been talking about different ideas I've had. One thing was the Costa Rica style airport. Then I got on about like Australia, in 1/200, 1/400 scale. I got on about, like a US kind of concept, focusing on Southwest. And honestly, there's so many ideas that come to mind. Yeah, that, especially obviously if you follow people on YouTube and Instagram and things like that, then, you look at layouts and stuff and you think, that's pretty cool. I kind of like that. And you kind of want to make it into your own a little bit. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update. And to be honest, while we're in this video, this is basically it's basically like a storage room at the minute. As you can see, I've got all these 1/200 scale models stacking up. Yeah, it just showcases exactly, how much my 1/200 scale collection has grown. This is just all basically storage, boxes. I've got Australian boxes, US, all my US Southwest and other US airlines in a box and 2 boxes. And then I've got Australian stuff down there as well in 1/400 scale. And then this is literally all the 1/200 scale models as well. It's crazy, really, but yeah, I think ultimately down the line, no matter what project I do after this, I'm going to have to move into the other room because it's more space, and I think overall a bit more accommodating for doing airports and stuff like that. And like I said, if I do a UK model airport again, I think I'd want one where I can walk all the way around the board and get pictures from different angles, different perspectives. Plus, in the other room, the window is bigger, so there's more light. I've currently got the blinds shut in this room, so obviously no sunlight's coming through. And yeah, I basically got the light on, which is why it probably looks artificial, because it is. So yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm still wanting to do the 1/200 scale airport project based on Rockhampton. I want to do that. Still find that airport pretty cool. And then once I've done that, I don't know, like, yeah, a modern day UK model airport series maybe. Or like I said, even like a US kind of concept, because, I've still not really shown off my, Southwest models either. So I kind of want to do that as well. But again, I've got no time frame. I haven't got a clue when all this is going to happen. It could be like a year from now. It could be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years for all I know. Like, so much happens and you never know what's around the corner. And obviously in the game of collecting, you never know what's going to get released. You don't know, each month, like, do you know what I mean, what manufacturers are going to be announcing and things like that. And again, it's all expense. So yeah, we just kind of go with the flow and see what happens. But I just wanted to do a video because I didn't want you thinking, oh, like, he said he was going to do videos, he's not done a single one this year and he's forgot about us. Like, you don't. You know what I mean? I wish I could do videos. I wish I could do like a big mammoth kind of project in a sense. Kind of I mean, if I did base it on Heathrow, then again, my collection is going to take off again, and it's going to be, I'm going to have to look at like all sorts of different things. But I guess I could do maybe like a Heathrow inspired, but a hybrid with like Manchester in terms of schedules and stuff, because I think Manchester's more, because I'm obviously from the north, it's probably the nearest international airport I'm most familiar with compared to, those down south. So, yeah, we'll see. But obviously, if there's any updates like that, I need to let you know, like I will do. But, yeah, I just want to keep you in the loop, man, and just see, let you guys know where I'm at and what's happening with the channel and things like that, and let you know that I am still kind of, I still want to do airport dates and stuff, but on a project of this nature, it's just not really, realistic to kind of to do them like I did before.